This brand was barely surviving at $1,000 a month in revenue at a 0.01x ROI. In this situation, most brand owners would have already shut this down. But what I did is I took it from this level of $1,000 a month in revenue, 0.01x ROAS, and I scaled it all the way to a 4.7x ROI at $95,000 a month in revenue in just 30 days. I'm Shri Kanase, I run Your Marketing, and we have managed $143 million in Google ad spend for brands all across the world. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how we took this brand, which was barely surviving, to $123,000 per month in revenue, step by step, by fixing the signals Google actually cares about in 2026. Now, before I go over the actual case study, there's one important thing you need to understand, and that is Google's algorithm has three major addiction points, as I like to call it. The first addiction point, which Google just cannot get its hands off of, is the merchant feed optimization. The second addiction point is conversion pixel training. And then finally, this ends with what I call the feeder campaign structure. In general, we always like to work from the foundation up, and this brand was no different. Essentially, because when we started first working with this brand, what I came to realize was this brand had zero foundation in place. And it doesn't matter if you run a brand making $50,000 a month or more in revenue, or $500,000 a month, your foundation is probably where most of your bottlenecks actually lie. Now, a little bit of a background on this brand. This brand is in the automotive industry. It sells specific BMW related car parts, accessories, and other tuning features. And because of that, the average order value for this brand can range between $200 all the way up to $2,000. It's fairly a mid-ticket to a high-ticket brand, but that's essentially where the problems arose for this brand, because during the start, essentially August to the end of October, because we started working with this brand in November and December, but during this time, because the overall price ticket, the overall approach that this brand was taking was so diverse, so broad, that there was literally no real campaign strategy in place. There were a bunch of major issues which was acting as bottlenecks for this brand, starting with inconsistent conversion tracking. That's the first thing I always look at, and also the first thing where majority of the problems are actually in. And here's the interesting thing. Most brands believe they have proper conversion tracking in place, but when you go to the back end, when you go to the conversion goals action of your Google Ads accounts, you realize whether or not the conversion tracking is actually in place or not. The best way to figure this out is to have multiple different conversion tracking events installed within your Google Ads account to compare each of them. In this situation, there was only one major conversion tracking event in place, which was GA4 tracking. And the problem was, for the entirety of 2 months, this conversion tracking had only recorded 2 conversions from Google, even though in the back end, it seemed like things were flowing. It seemed like the brand was doing 50 to 100K per month in revenue. And this was where the first kind of strategic approach began for this brand. From conversion tracking, we moved on to the product feed, because the main issue with this brand, and this is also one of the main common issues most brands face, was conversion tracking was an absolute mess. And when I say absolute mess, I literally mean an absolute mess, because everything from the product images to the product titles, this was irrelevant and made for Facebook ads and TikTok ads traffic. Because prior to Google ads, this brand was heavily reliant on just meta ads on TikTok ads traffic, because they had never really found success with Google. They were just throwing a bunch of things up, hoping and praying something was working. So their entire strategy, from the product images, how they were laid out, the product titles, even what they did in terms of the landing page experience, everything was optimized for Facebook ads, everything was optimized for TikTok ads. So as a result, their Google Merchant Center had a bunch of errors in there. There were a bunch of warning signs. And in fact, the feed was so far off from what they were selling that the Merchant Center actually thought this brand was selling healthcare products, because the product feed was such a big mess and the titles were not relevant at all in terms of the Merchant Center to what the brand was selling. So this alone was basically what was keeping this brand behind, was preventing this brand from truly scaling to the very next level. And to top it off, the brand owner did not even know their real numbers. So what we had to do as part of an initial strategy was not only break down each of their individual main selling products, product by product, but also understand more of their margins on a fundamental level, which essentially what we did is we helped them create this product cost of goods margin spreadsheet, which allowed us to not only understand their numbers better, but also as a business owner, allowed them to understand where they're making the most money, where they're losing the money, and where they should be focusing more of their time, energy, and spend on. And by the way, if you want access to this spreadsheet, just let me know down in the comment section and I'll send it over to you. But that was basically what we were dealing with this brand. There was no real foundation in place. They did not know where they wanted to take the brand, and it was extremely shaky. So as usual, before touching the campaigns, before changing anything, what we did is we began to work on the fundamentals, on the foundations, to improve the approach to a level where the algorithm could understand what this brand was selling, number one, and number two, what the highest buying intent traffic looked like for this brand. Because for all this time that they were running Google Ads, the conversion tracking was off, and all of their campaigns were either search campaigns initially or just random specific campaigns which really had no kind of goal behind them. I mean, if we just go look from September 1st to October 31st, we can see their overall approach was just mostly search campaigns with a little bit of demand gen campaigns, display remarketing campaigns, which again had no real momentum and had no real place within this overall approach. But essentially what we did once the product foundation was fixed, once we had real clarity within the numbers, is we approached the campaign strategy from a top-down view. Now this is where most brands go wrong. Your brand might be doing this as well, which is preventing your brand from scaling, which by the way, if you run an e-commerce brand making over $50,000 per month in revenue, you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads. Go onto my website at yourmarketing.com, schedule a completely free call with me, and let's see how we can potentially work together and make that happen. But what most brands do is they look from the bottom up approach. They go into the campaigns, they launch a shopping campaigns, they launch performance max campaigns, and then they work backwards towards their numbers, towards their product feed. But this is a very big flaw in terms of how you approach Google Ads, because Google Ads is all about buying intent. And on a fundamental level, there's three major buying intents possible with Google. There's a high buying intent, there's the medium buying intent, and then there's the low buying intent. The problem with this brand, the reason why I was struggling so badly, was because their strategy, which was mostly search campaign and display campaign based, was going after low buying intents and medium buying intent campaigns. What we wanted to do was essentially change their entire approach from a top down, from taking it from low buying intent and medium buying intent and completely eradicating that data so the algorithm could focus more on the higher buying intent campaigns. What we did essentially to make that happen is we figured out what the main selling points for this brand is and where majority of the sales could come from. Now, because I've worked with so many automotive brands in the past, you could literally find tens of case studies on my YouTube channel related to the automotive industry. I already knew that shopping placements and performance max campaigns focused on shopping is the way to go here. There was no guesswork needed because I already had that experience. So what I did is essentially we cut out all of these search campaigns, we cut out all of the display campaigns, and with that strong product feed, with that strong Google Merchant Center, which had zero warnings anymore, which had zero red errors anymore, we set out to start a campaign strategy focused on shopping. So what we did in terms of the campaign strategy is we launched something called the 4-1 approach. Now this approach works even if you're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars per month in revenue already from Google. This 4-1 approach basically focuses on having a few best-selling products as the main goal in one of the major standard shopping campaigns along with the Performance Max campaign. And then if you have other countries that you're targeting, target those as well in a separate Performance Max campaign if you have the ability to ship to them. Because the main goal with this 4-1 approach is to gain as much traction as quickly as possible for two different countries all at the same time. Again, this only applies to you if your brand can cater to more than one country. Otherwise, you want to switch this into the 3-1 approach. But essentially what we did is this first campaign strategy, we had it as the best sellers focus only because this brand had previous data from other traffic sources, from organic SEO. We used that to our advantage by starting a standard shopping campaign strategy that was a smart bidding based and only focus on the best sellers. Along with that, we started a Performance Max campaign strategy focused on testing all of the specific products this brand sold. That was literally it. These two were the major campaigns we initially started when we first began working with this brand. And to kind of top it off, to kind of give the brand a bit more leeway, what we did is we launched a third standard shopping campaign, which was still focused on one major country. And the main approach of this standard shopping campaign was to act as a catch-all campaign to basically get all of the lost sales back for the best-selling collections as much as possible. That was literally it. We started with this 3 campaign approach and we later launched a campaign that was Performance Max campaign focused just for Europe, and that was for testing purposes only. And then finally, the one from this 3-1-4-1 approach, whatever you want to call it, was based around a generic search campaign. So the one thing that was the major focus of this brand was 90% cold traffic focus and maybe 5% to 10% a little bit of branded traffic running in the background. But that's essentially what we started this campaign strategy with. And starting October, basically the first day that we launched this campaign strategy was November 3rd. So if we look at what happened during the 1st of November to the 3rd of November, the brand with a proper product feed in place, with a proper product foundation in place, not only ended up at a 4x ROAS in this first month of us launching this 4-1 approach, but at the same time, we were able to scale it to $20,000 in spend. That is a 2 times increase in ad spend because the previous month they had only spent $10,000, and that is a 400 times increase in terms of the ROI, simply because we first started with the foundation and then we applied a campaign strategy that was number 1, simple, number 2, to the point, and number 3, allowed proper segregation of the products just enough so that the algorithm had an easy time understanding what truly works and what truly doesn't. So from that point onwards, we did not want to make things more complex, make things a bit more fancy just for the sake of it. Rather, we wanted to keep that momentum going all the way from November into December, because of course November and December, those were the main selling points, and because it was Q4, we wanted to touch things as less as possible. So what we did is we kept that initial campaign strategy in place, and we just essentially focused on back-end optimizations along with vertical scaling. So if you look right here at this point of time, the amount of campaigns which are still running to this day, it's still focused on number 1, simplicity, but also number 2, 99% of these campaigns are standard shopping or Performance Max, because you want to put more budget, you want to put more energy into what's working. You never want to reinvent the wheels with Google Ads. If you already have found that specific tactic that works, double, triple, quadruple down on it before you think about horizontal scaling. I see so many brands make this mistake of where something works, a standard shopping campaign approach works, or a PMAX campaign strategy works, and instead of doubling, tripling down on it and really exhausting your ad spend on that specific strategy that's working, they're already 10 steps ahead trying to do horizontal scaling with demand gen campaigns, with a bunch of standard shopping campaigns, with a bunch of search campaigns, with a bunch of advertorials. This only takes you away from your goal of consistent and profitable scale. So keeping that in mind, we kept that strategy the same, and because of that, even in the last 30 days after Q4 has ended, we're now able to increase the ad spend, keep the ROAS steady at a 4.47x, and do about $137,000 in total revenue. I mean, if we just change this to this month, which is the 1st of January to the 19th of January, we're already at $82,000 in revenue, expected to hit about $120,000 to $130,000 at a 4x ROAS, which is still a very big improvement from a 0.08x ROAS that we're initially working with. And the scaling tactic that we're using, again, it's more about vertical scaling, because as you can see here, a lot of our campaigns are currently limited by budget. Again, going back to the point of doing what works the best and kind of building on top of the momentum, we're not going to go in here, we're not going to launch a bunch of campaigns for the sake of it. Rather, we're going to focus on reaching that potential ad spend, where once we reach that ad spend, and if we try to increase the ad spend above that level, the result and the ROI is at the points where things actually start to go downwards, and we're actually losing profitability trying to scale beyond a certain budget level, beyond a certain ad spend level. You will always see that there's this point within your campaigns, within your niche in general, where when you try to scale above a certain budget, that's when the ROI just dips no matter what you do, and at that point is when you introduce horizontal scaling. So we're just focused on vertical scaling at this point. We have a simplistic approach of Performance Max campaign going after 2 different countries, Europe as well as the United States. We're doing standard shopping campaigns and the original search campaign that was cold traffic based that is still running to this day. So with all of that being said, if there's one thing you should take away from this case study, it's this: Google Ads doesn't just scale brands, systems do. And when your feed, when your data and your structure are all aligned, the platform basically stops being unpredictable and starts compounding. So if your brand already does $50,000 per month in revenue and you want to find that exact tactic that can really take it to the next level, scale it to the next level with Google Ads, here's exactly how we can help make that happen. I'll do a completely free Google Ads audit of your current Google Ads strategy, where I can find all the bottlenecks in your accounts, potential solutions, and then if it makes sense, how we can potentially work together to scale your brand to the next level. If this is of any interest to you and you want to scale with Google Ads, just scan the QR code on the screen or click the first link in the description below to directly schedule a call with me, and let's see how we can potentially work together to make all of that happen.